Green Arrow issue 1 by Ben Percy and Otto Schmidt on the art. We said this when we read Rebirth issue 1, but Rebirth issue 1 for this was just issue 1 of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Because this was issue 2. It's issue 1,
Yep.
but this was the second part of the story, so worth noting that. Now, I will say, this is going to sound like a negative point, and it is, but it isn't really. This is the only issue 1 that I didn't think was better than its Rebirth issue. But it wasn't because it was bad, it was just because
I think it was on par with the Rebirth issue.
Yeah.
it pretty much was. But I think if I was picking between them, I'd pick the Rebirth issue. But it's just because they already had issue 1 of the story, so
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it
it's
was such a
issue
high
two.
quality.
yeah. Because it opens right where we left off, really. I mean, Green Arrow and Black Canary show up at the shipping
The
yard
docks.
to.
I'm glad the editor's note is in that first panel to go read Rebirth.
Yeah. Yep.
Just in case someone is just
Yep.
joining in comics and didn't realise. It's like you need to know this.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's one where they shouldn't have had a Rebirth issue, so I just called that issue 1 because it was.
Yeah.
But regardless of that, so we get a fun action sequence. What's Green Arrow's buddy's name? Who is on the comms? Not Felicity.
Henry.
Fife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Henry
Fife.
Henry Fife. There you go. So we get Black Canary. We also get Emmy, which is not Thea.
Yep.
Yeah.
Helping out in the fight. And like I said this last time, but I still really like the designs of these underground men with their hands and the goggles and all
I
that.
really love them in those colours. Like those like dark purples, fogs and stuff, and those orange eyes just really stand out.
Yeah. No, I
They're
agree.
otherworldly.
Well, we said
Yeah.
that we said this last time how they kept putting like oranges in the background so the green would really pop out.
Pop.
Yeah.
And it's the same kind of thing here. They've just got like they've really did some nice things with the colours to make sure that the things that they want to stand out are really popping off the page. Also, more Black Canary using her actual power with like let me see the rings of the sound waves coming out. It's always
Yeah. I liked what Emmy said too. Is that she feels it before she hears it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's a thing that she's familiar with, which is kind of cool.
And you can almost you can relate to that as well if you've ever had like a 5.1 sound system. You've got the subwoofer going off. Like you can feel that more than you can hear it. Like,
Yeah, if you've ever been to like a live gig,
Yeah.
you feel the drums hit you in your chest. You don't
Yep.
hear them as much.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, and the one key point here about two key points about the plot here is that Ollie notices that it's a Queen Industries container that
Yeah.
these guys were using. So that's relevant for plot in a couple of minutes, and also Canary is not amused that all these flat out paying dirty cops to give him information.
Yeah.
So
She's like, all the people you have relationships with, you pay. He's like, no, I don't. Okay, yes, I do.
Yeah, all but like one.
Yeah,
she should have brought that
which
up.
is his sister.
She should have brought up that when they were in bed, and because I'd have corrected you like, what you want
Do
paid?
you want me to pay it?
Do you want money? Is that what you want? But yeah, that's what we cut to. We cut to them in bed. They wasted no time
Which-
with this.
This is my one slight with Percy, and this has kind of happened throughout his entire run of Green Arrow. He moves things along very fast, and sometimes I feel like I am missing panels or pages. Because, like, I just turn to that page, and boom, they're in bed. It's like, okay, I get it, but I feel like it's abrupt. It's like a jump cut.
It is a jump cut, but that's because you have the page turn, and it is after where Emmy just says, "Well, you two just get a room."
Yeah,
So it
but-
kind of works as a jump cut.
It does work,
Yeah.
and that makes it work in terms of a jump cut. But at the same time, when she said that, when I was turning the page, I didn't think that I was getting to them already being in bed. I was
Yeah.
thinking, oh, that's seeding the fact that they're starting to fall for each
Yeah.
other. And
Exactly.
and she can see it. But then, oh, right, okay, they're already at it. Fair enough.
But yeah, but he's done this the entire. This is not new to
Yeah.
Rebirth. From the werewolf story. I mean, he was a werewolf within 3 pages. Like,
Something like that,
So and then this guy that he goes talks to. I want to say that we've seen him before Rebirth. His CFO.
Possibly.
maybe.
Yeah, or at least he's been mentioned. But yeah, the name was familiar enough. So
It is worth mentioning, though, before we get to that the all the stuff within in the kitchen with Dinah and Emmy like bonding and I think if you've never read Green Arrow before, that this at least sets you up for the end of the book, where you're still going to feel bad about the twist at the
And
end.
that's a little bit of my problem with this issue,
Yep.
actually. It's in this first half. I feel it's a bit clunky and over the top of making you aware of who Emmy is. I mean, I know they have to, but I feel like it's done in a really clunky way. That banter they have while they're fighting just feels
Yeah. No, it
forced to me.
is. It definitely is, and it's one of the things though where I'm kind of glad they did though to an extent because I barely remembered who she was.
There does need to be something, I agree, but I feel like the way they did it could have been done better.
I mean, it could have been. But at the very least, the dialogue bouncing off each other is actually quite enjoyable for the most part.
Yeah.
But you know this leads to Canary raiding Oliver for not that way. Get that out of your heads. Raiding Oliver for all this paying out money to people, and is there anyone? You know, we talk about that. Is there anyone in your life not being paid to be there for you?
I had a friend once. That was the line.
Yeah, it's like, he used to be my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do have to admit, it's a little bit strange for me how Dinah says like after Ollie implies they have some sort of relationship. She's like, I think we both need time to figure things out. I'm like,
Yeah.
are we at this
Yes.
point? like, I didn't even know they were sleeping together like 3 pages ago.
I think that's just meant to show like, yeah, they slept together and it was quick, and it's like, hang on, let's maybe figure it out before it gets messy.
Yeah, I get it. It just, I think it comes from the previous thing being so quick that this also feels kind of.
Yeah.
And see, that's what I mean. It always feels like you're missing pages or panels because he's moving him along
Yeah.
at such a speed.
And this is why I like the Rebirth issue more, I think. It felt tighter overall in terms of everything moving forward and
Yeah, that's fair enough.
going between each other. So he goes to meet the guy running his company for him, and maybe it was just me, but it was screaming secretly the villain on the page the entire time. It may have been big flashing red text. You know,
Yeah.
this guy is evil. He's a bad guy. Don't trust him,
Yeah.
Ollie. Don't be a tit.
Yeah. I think all his staff are weird. You know, the page before, it's like, I don't know what she is. She's like a secretary or whatever.
Yeah.
And she just like, am I allowed to tweet about you being here? And say, oh, you smell really good. Kind of sawdusty and leathery and horsey. It's like, you speak to your boss like that?
Well, I took that as he's more of a celebrity than a boss because he's never there. Like his name's on the building, but he doesn't.
Doesn't matter. When
So-
your boss walks in, you're going to do that, really. I mean, even if he is a celebrity, just you're still in his office.
I'm going to try out my next job interview. I'm just going to be like, by the way, you smell really nice. Just
That-
casually.
Hey Pete, that's the secret why you haven't gotten a job yet. You haven't noticed how they smell.
You have to be specific. It's the only way it works.
Yeah, I was like sawdust and lavender. Yes, that's how you smell.
It's a
Very
strange
nice.
combination.
That's how you get a stew going. But aye, so he talks to Boss Man about company stuff and why are these containers being used and whatever. And then we see the evil Boss Man make a phone call after he leaves, and I actually really like that page actually because the rain and the thunder hitting as
Yeah.
Ollie goes away on his motorbike.
I do love again
Also-
it's like that color contrast. It goes from these bright warm oranges to these immediately these like cold blues and grays.
Yeah, yeah. So Ollie goes home. He's attacked by an unseen intruder, which turns out to be Shadow. Shadow. Mario does a better impression of it, but that's all I can think when Shadow pops up now is Mario's impression of Deathstroke screaming Shadow from the TV show. But Shadow shows up and tries to kill him. Meanwhile, we see some of these overseers. Like one of them is the guy from the first issue who's like running this like smuggling ring. But
Yeah.
there's a bunch of other people with different types of mask. One of them, I believe, is Court of Owls.
Was it?
I could be wrong. Someone said there was. I didn't see him. I'm looking now.
I'm having a look.
Yeah. I
Oh.
didn't.
I think
That would've
this
stuck
bottom
out.
right one is meant to be caught. Maybe.
Maybe. They feel very Court of Owls anyway. I think.
Also, nothing says Green Arrow villain like a mask shaped like an arrowhead.
It's true. It's very true.
That is true. That is true. It makes sense if one of these guys was Court of Owls and it was like a network of all these different.
Oh crap! It's a Talon
Yeah.
at the end of the table, next to the shadowy face guy.
Oh,
there
yeah,
you
top
go.
left here.
Yeah, there you go. exactly.
Crap, I didn't even notice that. Just because I was so taken aback by the rest of the weird looking masks.
And the over the topness of them all having this meeting at
Yeah.
a table together.
Yeah, and for anyone who's new to comics, Talon are an agent of the Court of Owls, who are a big thing
Yeah.
in the start of Batman at New 52. So just for context. But of course they tease that Emmy's going to help Ollie. Ollie's like, get out of here, but then, oh no! Heel turn. Emmy
Yep.
helps
Big
Shadow,
time.
her mother.
God
Although
damn it,
I
Percy.
So I have the feeling it's gonna be one of those heel turns. It's not really a heel turn. It's a heel turn to facilitate the story. You know what I mean?
So you think she's going to end up being good in the long run?
Yeah, of course.
So
Like,
you say that, but the whole story was meant to be from the premise I got when he pitched it was he's kind of making him get rid of everything, like the way Black Canary's been challenging him about his money. He's essentially gonna go down to that level. So getting rid of his allies and making it just him.
see, but then again, it's so over the top about their relationship and her. Like, what? So she just flips the switch and that's it. Like,
Yeah, it is. It is very last page twist esque. So like
yeah,
that never
yeah,
sits sort of thing.
because the entire run to this point that Percy's done, him and he's built the relationship with Emmy, and the wolf dog, you know.
Oh, by the way,
So
there's actually going to be an amendment when this gets collected. They're going to change the
yeah,
dialogue on this last page because currently it says, "Where have you been, Mother? I've been waiting such a long time." It's going to change to, "Where have you been, Mother? Hail Hydra."
yeah. It's basically what it was. So we'll see.
It was that
Finish-
moment essentially.
So I don't buy it fully, and we'll see. Plus, she was so enamored with Black Canary, not just because she was like the pop star, but I see her that's a positive role model. So there'll be a struggle between Black Canary and Shadow for Emmy's fate.
That should be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be good. So, I mean, I enjoyed the issue, but I did think we brought up some problems, some clunkiness. But, I mean, no, art was gorgeous again, though, which really helps see you through any of those story issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit of clunky dialogue. Oh well, I'll just stare at this lovely art for a minute.
Yeah.
Yep.